So I'm a huge proponent of full body tracking. If you haven't tried it before, it really does bring VR to the next level in my opinion. I've been using full body for years and I'm fortunate enough to have tried most of the experiences out there. I thought I would make a tier list and review the full body VR games that I think are worth your time if you're a new user or you're interested in full body tracking. I'm going to rank these based on two things: the IK and basically how easy it is to get the full body set up in game, and the fun factor / gameplay. First up is VRChat. I'm sure you know what VRChat is, but it's a social VR game that stuck itself on the meme and pop culture, and it's an extremely popular game in the VR space. So for the IK, after the recent update, it's actually really good. They've done a ton to improve it over the years. It's really easy to set up, and it supports up to 11 trackers now, so you can get super accurate tracking if you want to go that far. It even supports avatars that aren't in a humanoid shape now, and you can get it working well with one click in the menu, which previously was completely broken and you had to do a bunch of stuff outside of VR to fix it. Normally I wouldn't have ranked this high, but as of the new update, I'm giving VRChat's IK a 9 out of 10. Now for the gameplay. It's fun, you can dance. With the new update, I believe there's some interaction if you have gliders on the feet. You can mess with people, etc. It does help to immerse you more into your virtual avatar, but at the end of the day, this is just a social VR game, so the full body doesn't really add a whole lot to the core quote-unquote gameplay, which is basically just talking to your friends online. The dancing is cool, but for me, the gameplay of VRChat is a 7 out of 10. Dragonfist VR Kung Fu is the next full body game that I wanted to talk about. So this is basically Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter in VR, and it's extremely fun. It's one of the best VR fighting games I've played, and I made an in-depth review of it a while ago. I'll have it linked in the description. So for the IK, when I was making this video, it was still in closed beta, so I'm sure this will be improved as time goes on, and by the time you're watching this, it might already be fixed. Right now, I do think the IK needs to be improved. It's not terrible, and I appreciate the calibration and the ability to tweak things for each playable character. I did have an issue with some of the characters where a movement would get stuck in the middle of fighting after I kicked or something, but other than that one problem, the IK was pretty decent for a game like this. 7 out of 10. Gameplay. This is a game that I think really benefits from full body. Don't get me wrong, you can totally play this without the extra tracking and have a good time, but full body really brings this to the next level and it makes you feel like you're actually fighting with martial arts. I used to practice Taekwondo, and I was using real stances and real kicks that I know how to do. And with the excellent AI that's in this game, it was just a very cool experience. So for me, the full body gameplay here is a 9 out of 10. Alright, moving on to Blade&Sorcery. So Blade&Sorcery at its core is a medieval arena fighting game with some of the best melee and magic physics currently available in VR. It also has excellent mod support on the PC version, and with the right mods you can make it into the unofficially best lightsaber fighting game that currently exists. So for the full body IK, oh boy is it annoying. It doesn't show the tracking pucks when you're trying to calibrate it, and you can't tweak the body to make it work as well as you want. And on top of that, if for some reason your headset disconnects or you have some kind of technical problem, you need to restart Steam VR completely for the full body to work again. It's super annoying, and I really hope they try to improve it, because right now it's a 3 out of 10 for me. So for the gameplay, despite the bad IK experience, this is another game that I think really does benefit from full body tracking. Kicking enemies off cliffs or kicking a weapon from your foot into your hand never gets old. Keep in mind that this does make combat quite a bit easier. I know the dev of Blade&Sorcery is trying to make AI better. I haven't gotten the chance to try it out yet, but hopefully that fixes the problem. Other than that, it really is hard to play this without full body after you try it out once, so I'm going to give gameplay an 8.5 out of 10. Now for NeosVR. So Neos is a social VR game similar to VRChat. The engine is also a lot more advanced. It's not built on Unity, it has its own dedicated engine built from the ground up, which means it can support a lot more advanced things, and you can build inside the game without taking off your headset. There's been some pretty crazy stuff done in Neos, like someone made an entire virtual movie using live actors. So for the IK, this is probably the best full body IK that's currently available in VR. It's supported 11-point tracking for a long time, and I believe you can even use more than that if you really need to. You can freely adjust everything about the IK and body tracking directly from inside the game without taking off your headset, so you can tweak things to get it just right for you. I'm going to give the IK for this a 9.8 out of 10. I really can't think of much else that can be improved, and this is the best full body IK on the planet right now. Gameplay. So this is in some ways similar to VRChat. It's a social VR game, but I would classify this more as a sandbox or like a real virtual platform to build things on. Like I mentioned before, people made some pretty incredible stuff in here, and because of how open and moddable this engine is, having full body is more of a gameplay thing. Like you could use your legs to kick at people or do some crazy stuff. The population is lower than VRChat though, and it's kind of complicated to figure out, so if you're not someone who likes to mess with things or just wants to talk with your friends, I would hold off right now. I'm going to rank it slightly higher than VRChat and give it a 7.5 out of 10, just because I think the engine is superior to Unity for VR. So these last two games I'm talking about are not natively supported, they are mods, and I've only tried the first one, but they are fun experiences. So Beatsaber has a mod that brings in full body tracking. It allows you to either use just your feet to slash at the boxes or your feet and hands. I'm not going to explain what Beatsaber is because everyone knows what that is. Anyways, for the IK, it's not bad. It is pretty basic. It's similar to VRChat's old IK. You can see the tracking pucks and line it up with the body. You can't tweak things a whole lot, but it does the job. 7 out of 10. Gameplay. So personally, I found regular Beatsaber using just your hands super boring. For a long time, I had essentially zero interest in it. When I found out about the full body mod, I decided to give it another shot and I fell in love. It changed kind of a basic game that I had no interest in into Dance Dance Revolution, which I loved playing as a child. In my opinion, this is the better way to play Beatsaber. It really does get you moving, and in some of the songs, it makes you feel like you're dancing. So it's a great workout. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. The last game or mod for the game is Gary's ModVR. I have not personally tried this out, so I can't really review it. From what I've seen, it is a good experience for the people that have gotten it working though. I can't imagine it does a whole lot for gameplay, but I'm sure it's a cool experience being able to play through Half-Life 2 with a fully tracked Gordon Freeman. Alright, that's it. Hopefully this helps. There are a few other games that support full body, but these are the ones in 2022 that I think are worth checking out. Let me know if you like this in the comments. I also stream VR and Twitch, and I make content on TikTok if you want to check those out. Thanks for watching!